Hey guys, Ian here from the Heresy YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to magnetize the arms on a Contemptor Dreadnought. So this is a really easy process, really simple, even if you've never magnetized before, and I would highly recommend that you do that for all of your Contemptor Dreadnoughts, because Games Workshop's fabulous designers have built in to these parts the ability to magnetize them. So you can see on this Dreadnought I've already magnetized here, he's got a magnet in his little arm slot. He's also got a couple of magnets, two magnets inside this fist that you can see just there. And when I pop these on, it's quite a good friction fit anyway, but those magnets just ensure that this stays nice and secure. And it's also posable as well, which is really cool. You just see I swap that around now with a las cannon. Do the same. Lots of weapon options for all of my Dreadnoughts, which is really good. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's dead easy. So what you're going to need is, first of all, some 4x1, so that's 4mm diameter by 1mm depth, N35 magnets. So there's two grades of magnets that you generally get, N35 and N52, which are stronger. So if you've only got N52s, that will be okay, but you don't really need the strength on these because there's quite a good friction fit and there's two of them for each arm slot as well. So there's quite a lot of magnetism. So N35 means that your magnets aren't too strong and they will still have a great hold in place. So you'll need those magnets. You'll need your pieces cut out and ready to go. You can see this is a Dreadnought fist with a graviton gun ready to be attached for my iron hands later on, and some super glue. I would recommend a nice accurate super glue tip, so I use these extra sort of throwaway super glue tips as well to get nice control over the super glue as well. Okay, so the first thing, if you've never magnetized before, or whether you have, is to get your polarities right, because obviously if you glue your magnet on differently in every weapon, they're not going to all necessarily attach. So the way I do this, the way I remember this, a lot of people paint on them and that kind of stuff. What I do is I just always have the magnets in my right hand and I always insert them right to left whenever I put anything in. So I always go this way into the models and that way across the body of the model. So the polarity across my model is always right to left. So you'll see that this sticks nicely onto there. And on the other side of the Dreadnought, it sticks nicely from this other side onto that Dreadnought as well. So everything I magnetize always goes in the same direction, which means if I want to change my weapons between Dreadnoughts and that kind of stuff, everything always fits. Now, a good way of doing this with your magnets, so I've got two different sizes of magnet here. So I've got these N50, these 4x1s here. I've got some bigger ones on the end, and I just use these to remind me which end to hold because they're bigger. So however you do that, good idea, because getting your magnets mixed up is the worst thing. And finally, I just use a little piece of metal. This is a little metal tube, just to make sure they don't go missing or roll around or, you know, stick to your knife or something like that. So all we're going to do, we've got our magnets going left to right. So we're going to take this left-hand side piece of the arm, and we're just going to put a tiny little bit of glue in there. Oh, that's more glue than I wanted. So tissue. You put too much glue in, it will squidge out around the magnet, and then it will sort of coat the surface of the magnet and make it not sit flush. So just a little bit of tissue, wipe that off. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take our magnets, once I take them off the bar, we're just going to pop one magnet in and then just sort of slide them away. See, and that just leaves us with the one magnet in. So we can push that down nice and flat, and then what you need is a piece of cardboard or something reasonably solid. I use one of these files and just push it flat onto the magnet to make sure you get a nice flush fit, and then push that down quite hard, and then we're just going to put that to one side and leave it to dry away from anything metallic. So if that goes too near anything too metallic too quickly, you'll find the magnet will shoot out of the socket and stick because of the super glue to wherever it's attached to. So then we're going to do the next one. I'm just going to move this bar out the way. So obviously this one we want to go this way. So we want it on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my, hopefully, dab of super glue this time. Be a bit more controlled. just into the bottom of that arm piece. And then I'm going to very carefully get the camera to focus. I'm going to take one magnet off the end of this so that it's facing in the correct direction. If you lose control of that magnet while you're doing that at any point, or you sort of fumble and you're not sure which way it's facing, just put it back on your stack and start again. Guarantees you're never going to get it the wrong way around. So I'm going to push that in there with my little thing. I do now wonder, watching this video, if I should have trimmed my nails or got a manicure before filming this, but there you go. I'm not a professional. So there we go. We got our two little pieces, not put them too close together. And finally, now we're going to magnetize this arm piece. Now, there's two different ones on these dreadnoughts. Their left arm is like the circle sits center line, whereas their right arm, it's actually offset a little bit for the big guns, I think is the intention, although you can switch them around if you want to. So all we're going to do now is we're going to put a magnet into this as well. So again, same so this one, it doesn't really matter which way round we do this, but we want to just make sure we get it right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our super glue. A little bit tricky because it's just a hole, but we're going to just put a little dab of super glue in there. That super glue will just be grabbed by the magnet when we put it in. Now your fingers will get a little bit super gluey doing this. Same thing again, put the magnet in and just swipe it off. Bring them magnets away in your other hand. And then just use your emery board or similar to push it down. And make sure it's nice and flat. Now, you see it's a little bit stuck to my finger there. I'm just going to pull it off. So as you can see, that magnet's now in there. It's sitting nice and flush. On these pieces, there's actually room, a bit of depth in these. So you could fit a 4mm by 1.5 depth magnet into this, which is what I was going to do. I ordered some to do that, to fill that gap up. But what I've found with these dreadnoughts is they're such snug fits, you really don't need to do that. And you don't need to buy those extra magnets if you don't want to. So you can just stick to the 4x1s. They work absolutely fine. So that's that done in there now. So now that is in and dry, I'm just going to test these. And what you should see is that these are tracked. See? Because they're both in the correct direction, so they're attracting, which is good. You don't want to leave it that long. Make sure you just get this right without needing to test it, because really once you've put them in, they're stuck pretty much anyway. So do all of your testing beforehand, making sure you've got your magnets in the correct polarity. And I really would advise doing this sort of right to left thing. If you paint them, paint can wear off. Sometimes you forget what end you painted. Just, if you're right-handed, do this. And probably if you're left-handed, probably do it the other way around. It's the direction you're always going to hold the magnet stack when you're pushing it into the hole. So those two things are done now. So just as one more test, this should be okay to use, hopefully now. I'm just going to pretend that this is assembled. And there you go. We put all those three things together and they're nice and magnetized. So if this was done, this would come out nice. And then it's hard to see on the camera, but this is snapping itself in, see? Nice, there we go. So that's it, really easy to magnetize these. It's really great to see Games Workshop pre-drilling these holes in some of these kits. Like, it's so good that you can change every weapon in this kit with no need for pieces. It's really exciting. I hope they do this on more models in future. Great for all of us, great for fun with the kits as well. Hope that was useful to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please do like and subscribe. Please do leave me a comment as well, or any feedback. I know this video isn't the perfect quality. My normal camera equipment isn't here where I'm filming this video, but hopefully that gives you the confidence, if you've not magnetized before, to go ahead and do this. So enjoy, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.